How does hormone replacement therapy affect you? And why do you need a video by me telling you this when you can just Google it? Well, unfortunately, Google doesn't have all the answers to this because research is still in progress. There is not enough research on how hormones affect all trans people. And the effects are quite different person to person. I'm on estrogen and supplemental testosterone. Other people have different combinations of medications. And you can find a lot more detail on this subject on my blog at iamviolet.ca. So how it affects me. One of the first things that I noticed, and this is something that's common among most people, is that, well, let's just say that when you wake up first thing in the morning, there is nothing that makes it difficult for you to pee straight. That happens when your testosterone level gets lowered down to sometimes almost nothing. Another effect that happens very quickly is your skin softens. And when I was told about this initially, I thought, well, my skin is in pretty good shape anyway, but I could not believe the difference. And this started happening within the first 3 weeks of starting on my hormones, and my levels weren't even anywhere near where I wanted them yet. It starts in certain places and then gradually spreads out, so all of your skin gets a lot softer. I could not stop touching the side of my neck. I couldn't believe how much softer it got. And for transmasc people who might be watching this, oh, poor you. Your skin toughens up, it thickens up, but you're probably just totally happy about that from your perspective because that's what you want. For those of us on the femme side, we like the softness. In addition to skin softening, right around that time is when the emotional roller coaster starts. And early on, you will probably notice that you're cycling between very happy and extremely low mood. But if you experience significant dysphoria before you started your hormones, even though the lows are very low, they're probably not going to be much different than your regular baseline was before you started. So for me, what I noticed the most was that even though I was feeling the emotions so much more strongly, they were much more controllable. When in my old life, when something upset me, I would get very angry. I would have an outburst. I wasn't in control of my strong emotions. But now, even when I'm extremely upset, if I'm in a setting where it's not appropriate to burst out, it's easy to manage that and to deal with that at a later time. Another thing that starts happening fairly early, but not early enough for most of us, is breast development. I noticed very soon that I was starting to feel a little bit of growth. And along with that comes pain. You may be warned by some trans elders about pain in your developing breasts. That is real, and that continues. It's been a year and a half, over a year and a half that I've been on hormones now, and I still have periods of time where there's considerable pain, so I like wearing a bra that has liners in case I bump into something, because it's not pleasant. However, one thing that is good is that when you experience pain, it's not quite the same. And in my old life, I already had my own kind of relationship with pain, but now pain doesn't seem to affect me as much as it used to, which, believe me, is very good. One of the effects that will be more noticeable if you're younger, if you have not already experienced androgenic alopecia or hair loss due to testosterone metabolites. Your hair is going to start growing back. Now, what they will tell you, the official stance on this is that hair loss will stop, but regrowth is not supported by existing studies. This is one area where there are not yet enough studies to say conclusively that yes, your hair on your head does start growing back. And from the anecdotal reports that I've had from other trans women, most people say there is significant regrowth. The hair that you have starts getting thicker and longer, and the hair that you have maybe recently lost will start growing in. The official line is that if the follicles are completely dead, like if you got a bald spot, it's not going to come back. But there are people who say, yes, it does. And as for me, I used to have a very small spot that was hairless, and now it's not. So from my experience, yes, hair does grow back. Your experience may differ, but cross my fingers for you. Another thing that is affected by hormones, but is really variable apparently, is muscles. Your doctor will tell you, and I was led to believe by a lot of trans women who I've talked to, that once your testosterone is killed off, it is very difficult to maintain muscle mass. And in my old life, I was very lucky. I could maintain a good amount of muscle mass with very little exercise. Yes, I know you hate me already. But now that I've been on hormones for a year and a half, you notice my shoulders and my arms, I still have a decent amount of muscle on me. I get exercise when I can. I've recently started a new job that is somewhat physically demanding. So if anything, my muscles are going to increase a little bit more. But if you're afraid of losing your muscle tone, it might not go away as much as you expect. I'm pretty much as muscular as I was in my old life. Now, if you are a trans woman, please comment below on any of the effects that you've experienced from your hormones, whether they're the same as what I've experienced or if they're different, because everyone is different. I know that most trans women don't take supplemental testosterone like I do, but for some of us, the estrogen kills off the testosterone completely, and we need a little bit to get it back up to a normal level for a woman. But that's all I'm going to talk about for today. I want to keep this fairly short. So tell me about your experience, ask me questions, find more detail on my blog at iamviolet.ca, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.